a data model optimized for writes when that's 1% of what you do? That doesn't seem to make sense, does it? Now, the big problem that we ran into here was with this process with the DTO. And we can change this. So instead of doing this process where we map from the DTO to the domain, edit the DTO, and send the DTO back to the server, we can introduce another concept. It's very similar to an event, except it's called a command. So now we're going to query data, build commands, send the commands to the domain will validate that the commands are valid, and then it will save the domain objects. A command looks identical to an event. You can imagine that you refactored to extract the parameters of the method to an object, and then you named that object. Events were verbs in the past tense. A command will always be in the imperative tense. So even in Italy, write them in German. The idea behind it is we're getting what the user wants. It's not that the client is telling me, save this data. The client is telling me to do something. It tells me to deactivate a customer. It tells me to correct a customer's address. Do you notice the language here? This is not update, save, delete, create. These are real words that people actually use. This is the start of our ubiquitous language. You will have one command per use case. Do you guys name your use cases? Like, this is what I actually want the system to do? Or are your use cases mostly, I want the system to save this data so that I can... The idea here is we want to describe